just wanted to update you on the progress of the truck, where we're at. Unfortunately, we were not able to get much recording done this past winter. We didn't get to film a whole lot because just with being up underneath the truck and trying to weld, and we obviously, as you guys can see, we don't have a rack here to lift the vehicle up or anything. So laying on the ground, welding, and trying to video is pretty hard to do. So anyway, we weren't able to get a whole lot of that. I am going to put a couple clips in here of some different stuff, a couple things that Caden was mentioning that we took some, took some weight out here and there in the truck. We roughly lost right at 150 pounds from some of the stuff that we have removed from the truck. But we have turned around and put almost, I think, like another 60 pounds back in it. So there's gonna be a couple clips here, a couple things that Caden mentions, a couple things that are my youngest son, his little brother, he's in there once kind of mentioning some stuff that we took out. So it's just basically a big pile of metal that we cut out here and there. So he's gonna tell you about that. We do got some plans coming up for Caden's car this summer, which I think will make some pretty good footage, something pretty cool that he wants to tell you guys about. I'm gonna put a couple clips towards the end of this video here of just some runs and stuff, a couple runs from last year. We have had the last 2 weekends that we've been out, we've had very good luck with the truck, thankfully. Shout out to my buddy JB Hall. He taught me a lot on tuning suspension last year, which helped a huge amount. And what I learned from him, thankfully, I was able to go to our local track, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 6 or 7 on how well they prep it. So thankfully, the knowledge that I learned from JB was, with certain shock settings, was I set it up how I thought it should go, and thankfully it took off and just left. We were right back to where we left off last year, running 590s right out of the gate. We have gotten last weekend and then this weekend we've got it down into the 80s. So picking up some mile per hour, just working a little bit more on the tune. Again, shout out to my buddy Dustin Dillo for that. His help with teaching me how to tune and do stuff with the computer has helped out a tremendous amount. So lots I've learned. Hopefully I can help other people. I don't care about trying to be the fastest person in our group or in the world. All I care about is going out with my buddies and having fun, doing a little racing, and talking a little bit of shit once in a while. So as a lot of people know, this truck is nothing special. It's got a 80mm VS turbo. It's got a bone stock bottom end 5.3 truck motor in it. It still has a truck intake on it. It has a special custom ground cam. Don't have a whole lot of specs on that because it is a custom ground one that I'm sure a lot of people out there have. If everybody's ever dealt with Little John Motorsports, that's who we got it from. So it's nothing fancy, but I mean, it is a custom ground cam that does help. It's got good head gaskets in it. It has ARP head bolts. It doesn't even have head studs. So we don't pour a whole lot of horsepower out with it just because, not having proper equipment to fasten the heads down, and we do have the bigger bore LS9 head gaskets, which they do make a better head gasket now for the smaller bore for the 5.3. So it's nothing crazy. It's literally just a bone stock 5.3 liter stock bottom end. If the rings have been gapped, little stuff like that, but nothing fancy. So it's all about tuning it, and that's why it has took us a long time to get where we're at, because we've just been taking baby steps. I'm not just going to go out there and just pour the beans to it and, blow it up, sling head gaskets out of it left and right, trying to make as much power and go as fast as I possibly can. I'm not real worried about that. I'm just worried about making good, consistent passes nonstop down the track. That's what I enjoy more than anything. And, this thing, we can run 581 all day long, with no problem. So it might even make a bracket truck one day. We may just start bracket racing with it. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna put a few clips up later on in this video. I got some exciting stuff coming up. This truck, we did put of course, got the full roll cage in it. I'll put a couple pictures of that in there. We got the anti-roll bar on. A few little odd and end things here and there that we've done that's really helped out. So Caden's got some exciting news that he wants to tell everybody about his car. So I'll pass it on over to him.
like my dad said, not able to get a whole bunch of footage of the truck racing, but last night we did go to the track, and I did manage to get the one good run, and I believe it was, what, a 581?
Mm-hmm.
It was 581. We sat there, and I was just waiting for the one run, because I've never seen him run in the 5s with my own eyes. So I'm waiting, and it just finally gets that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for my dad, because I know that it's what he's been trying to work at and trying to get down, and he's definitely doing it. And plans for my car for the future, we got the LS for it. We're going to keep it almost all original, except for the engine, because the engine that's in it now just won't get out of its way. It's like a death trap, basically, because it makes so little horsepower that just won't move, really. That's heck, you could park it in front of a speed bump and try and go, and it won't get over it. But we're going to keep pretty much all the original stuff except the engine, which the engine is sitting right over there, still on the mount from a couple months ago whenever we got it. I think it's been 2 months. A month, I'd say. But we're going to try and get that done. And I think that's really it.
Yeah, we're just gonna put a stock 4.8 LS motor in there. Of course, he's gonna be a new driver, so we don't need anything too crazy. It's still gonna have the original 700R4 transmission in there, stocker in for now. We do plan to keep it having air conditioning, so we will have to figure that part out as we go. I know we've got the motor and stuff that we have. It has everything, like I said, off of a truck motor on it. So the only thing we'll have to do is probably have some lines made, if I had to guess, for the air condition. But it won't be no big deal. His car, thankfully, has already got electric cooling fans and stuff like that in it. So it's literally going to be just a matter of getting the motor swapped over. Probably get some help from my buddy Dillo. We're going to see about trying to piggyback the gauges and stuff in the car off of we're going to put a factory ECM and harness in it. So we're going to try to piggyback the gauges and make all them work. That way there, we don't have to change gauges or do anything like that. So, and if we do, thankfully they make enough stuff out there. I think, was it Dakota Digital or something? I think they make quite a few different gauge swaps for these things where it all just, plugs right in. But we're going to try to keep it as original as possible, other than the motor. So everything else should still pretty well be the same. We may do a little bit of work to the front end, maybe do a little bit something different with control arms and stuff like that, just to make it run and drive a little bit better. But other than that, that's really about it. That was kind of mostly the biggest exciting news that we have is what we're going to be doing with Caden's car. Like I said, there's going to be plenty of footage on that, so we'll definitely record more of that as we go. That's kind of going to be something that's a little bit special for us, because we're going to be doing that together. Whenever I first brought this truck home and we decided to pull the motor out of this thing, we went out one night, me and a buddy of mine. This guy had it for sale on Facebook. We went and bought it, and I'll put a couple pictures in here about that, or what it looked like when we bought it. But I literally bought it about 20 minutes down the road from my house. I drove it home, and literally that night we completely yanked it apart. The whole front end, motor, trans, everything was out of it, and we did the LS swap on it. And he was out here a lot for that one. His little brother was a baby at the time, and he was out here a lot too. So it's kind of special to me to have the boys out here working on this stuff with me. That's just kind of something that I enjoy. I mean, I spent a lot of time with my grandpa doing stuff, at his house, helping him with his trucks and cars and stuff, and he helped me with mine. So it's just kind of cool to have the boys out here helping me and having little projects like this that we can do together. So I'm gonna throw a couple videos up here, let you guys watch them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's not anything too crazy exciting. We just haven't had much exciting stuff to really put in there because we just didn't do the best on filming. Like I said, it's just been tough when you're laying underneath there welding or beating and banging and cutting and different stuff going on, and he's over here, he's trying to hold stuff for me, and it's just hard to video. So, but we're gonna do our best to video as much as we can about the car and go from there. So there'll be a few other exciting things going on. We did decide to buy a Turbo Civic which I'll put a little clip in the video of that. We have decided to move on from that. Unfortunately, it just wasn't our thing. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy.
Hey guys, we're going to show you the inside of the truck now. We have cut a lot out, but before we put the dash back in, we have to put a cage in it because Dad's starting to run a lot faster, so it's going to get scary. Here's the inside of it. As you can see, we have cut quite a bit out.
So as of right now, we're basically what you see over here in the floor. This little harness here is just for the engine management. There's a couple wires that run across just for different buttons on the steering wheel. The only wiring that we left in there is what's over there in order to basically run lights and to run the starter. That's pretty well all we got left in there because it does still have a conventional turnkey starter. We'll plan on always keeping it that way. There's a few spots here on the door. We cut a few little panels out of it. Saved us a few pounds per door. We'll show you the pile of stuff that we cut out of this thing here in just a second.
Hi guys, this is the motor that we took out of my dad's race truck.
Hey guys, this is what the front of the truck looks like right now before we have everything done with it. But we got new front wheels in and a cage coming in, which the cage is going to be a lot nicer because it's going to help the safety, because since my dad's starting to get into the fives as a previous video, which you should definitely go check that one out after this one. That would be awesome. But he's starting to run a lot faster. And I just hope nothing happens, but if something does happen, the cage will be there. Jared's gonna bring you an updated video here about the truck. We cut the inside of the front fenders out, saved us around 7 pounds, and we will put them back on the truck.
7 pounds makes a big difference. It's a lot of weight, especially once you start adding up all the little odd and end things here that we're going to show you that we cut out. So we'll go over here and we'll show you a video of the dash, what we took out of it.
Hey guys, this is the dash right here. We have stripped everything out of here, saved roughly around 10 pounds, which it may not seem like a lot, but that is a huge difference in drag racing.
Hey guys, bringing you a quick video tonight. Of course, again, we haven't really done much recording on this progress of the truck here, but just want to flip the camera around and show you what we're doing as far as the manual brakes. We are going to go ahead and switch over to putting this plate in here. We ordered this thing off manualbrakes.com. Part of the reason that we went with them is because they actually tell you what master cylinder and stuff that you need to use if you have factory style calipers front and rear, or if you have drum brakes in the rear, or aftermarket brake calipers in the rear, front, whatever you have. They actually end up having a certain master cylinder to match up to everything, which is supposed to make it a whole lot better. So anyway, that's that part of it. We just got done bench bleeding the master cylinder on the vise over there, so I'm going to probably give that a couple more pumps and then make sure we got all the air out of that, and then I'll go ahead and stick that in there and we'll get it all bolted up. It looks like, thankfully, my brake pedal assembly already has a hole, what looks like to be about perfectly lined up for the rod. So we're going to check that here in a minute and find. Hey guys, got the new master cylinder installed on there with the plate. We do have to still run our lines. I've still got them connected all over here. I do still have to adjust all that. Again, didn't get any good videos of us putting this stuff together. But I did want to mention one thing. If you order these from manualbrakes.com, there is a pin. See if I can get it focused in. Right, that goes through your brake pedal right here. The pin that they supply is just a touch too big, so you do have to just basically more or less clean that hole up there. I went ahead and put a little spacer on here because I really didn't like that thing walking back and forth all over up there. So I just put a couple washers on there, of course, with the pin. So that way there I don't have to worry about anything happening with that. So just so you guys know, just a couple little things I had to do there, okay?